going, what have I done? My career was just taking off nicely. Now I'm in Pasadena wearing a werewolf mask. And there was a company coming scouting locations for a film. And so we asked them what it was for, and they said they were scouting locations for a film that Spielberg was producing called Back to the Future. And Crispin Glover was going to be in it, who I knew, who had done an episode of Family Ties, I knew for some other things. And I remember thinking, now that would be great. If I could do that, it'd be a lot better than being a werewolf. And unbeknownst to me, I didn't even know this, but Gary had already been approached by Steven and Bob Zemeckis to let me do the movie, Back to the Future. But they wanted to go in October, and he couldn't let me out because it was at that time at the beginning of the show, and he hadn't known that the situation was going to happen with Meredith. So he didn't know there was going to be that window. So he had said, I can't let him do it, and he said, please don't tell Michael, not that I want him to think I did something behind his back, but I really had no other choice. I can't. And I totally accept that and understand that. So they cast the role, and they started shooting with another actor, with Eric Stoltz, who's a terrific actor, really good actor. But what was happening was that, Eric, there's a certain goofiness to it that I don't think Eric was really ready to embrace. Eric is talented enough to do anything that he wants to do, but I think there was a silliness to the role that they'd kind of pictured me for. And so they decided to make a change around Christmas, and I had just come back from Christmas vacation, and Gary called me into his office, and I thought, he was doing Gina, a pilot with Gina Davis, a secondary series at NBC, and so I went down there. He'd called me to his office down there at NBC in Burbank, and I went down, called me into his office, and I think, I'm going to get fired. I mean, still at this point, I'm thinking, he's going to can me. What am I doing here? And he gave me the script for Back to the Future, and he said, Steven Spielberg is producing this film, Bob Zemeckis is directing it. They want you to do it, so why don't you take it and read it? And if you want to do it, then we'll figure out how to make it work. So, I took the script and kind of went like this, and I love it. It's great. When do I start? So, basically within a week, I was doing both jobs, and I'd do Family Ties in the daytime, and I'd do Back to the Future at night. And I was working 18, 19, 20 hours, and by the time Back to the Future came out in the summer of 85, there were whole scenes I can remember shooting, because I was so tired during so much of it. And, weeks after weeks of 18, 19-hour days. But then all of a sudden, it was a huge hit, and my